And welcome back to Lantern Corps videos. I'm a little late. Normally I have it up in the morning, but for some reason the official Lantern Corps page where I go to when I use the images in the background here for the rings, it wasn't letting me use the images earlier in the day. Like there was something off with the site, but it was fixed by the end of the night. I just wasn't in the mood to do a video late at night, so we're here now. And obviously we are doing Venom. I'm not Eminem. Nor would I want to be. No, and this comes to us from Noble Chief and CJM, who has Venom. Now, Venom is a very tricky character to do, because Venom isn't, depending on which version you're looking at. If you're looking at the movie version, Venom is Venom and Eddie. Venom is separate from Eddie, even though they're symbiotically, together. But in the comics, Venom is the actual being that is created when the symbiote and Eddie merge. That's what it's known as the Venom symbiote because it's kind of like the first symbiote we know about in the in the Marvel comics initially. But it's technically the symbiote itself isn't Venom. So how do I go about judging this exactly? I will say this: we'll look at it on two folds. We'll look at it we'll look at them as one character and see what their goals ultimately kind of go towards. But we will look at it mostly from Eddie's point of view, with Venom kind of adding it here or there. And we'll look at it from the comic, and we'll look at it from the movie universe. Believe it or not, I actually don't think there's many options here, despite the fact we're looking at two different universes, because they're actually two very different versions of the characters. I'm going to just flat out get through all the ones, or at least a good portion of the ones, that Venom I don't think qualifies for. Eddie Brock doesn't qualify for. The White Lantern Corps, even though he is alive, he has protected people, and he's got the living symbiote, living with him in symbiosis, which you would think would garner life. He's also eaten a lot of people, and killed a lot of people, not eating them. So, can't be a White Lantern. Black Lantern, even though he has killed plenty, he's not like a worshiper or embodiment of death, so that doesn't work either. Hope doesn't really work for the comic version that much. Sure, there are moments where all characters have hope, but neither holds on to a great deal of hope, and more importantly, doesn't inspire hope. The movie version of Venom, you might be able to make a small argument for, as they're hoping for, a better life together or whatnot, although they struggle. I really wouldn't, but I could see a very bare bones argument there. Avarice is an odd one. Now, avarice obviously is greed. I feel as though there's less greed and more gluttony, which can still go with greed, towards Venom, particularly the comic iteration of Venom. But that only goes for so long in the character's history before he kind of overcomes that and becomes a solid anti-hero. Same can be said for this Venom. He does need to eat, particularly brains or chocolate, but it's more for necessity than it is glut. So, again, kind of like Blue, there's an argument, but I don't think it's a very good one. Compassion, Venom/Eddie is not without compassion. In fact, if anything, Eddie in the movies is very compassionate. Like, he doesn't want Venom eating people. Like, come on, don't kill people, man. But obviously, he's also understanding of Venom's circumstance. I don't see them being compassionate, because they have enough compassion to have it, and they don't completely lack it. Because you either need to have it be your dominant trait, or have no compassion in your heart, no empathy whatsoever. And then lastly, I, weirdly enough, don't see Venom on either side of the fence, Eddie from the movies or the comics, as a Green Lantern. Green Lantern, you have to overcome great fear. Now, Eddie/Venom has done that, but you also need to have great willpower. And the fact of the matter is, Eddie and Venom's relationship, and the symbiote's relationship, is kind of, especially in the movies, it's a lot of struggle and giving up and acceptance about giving up and then coming back. There's a lot of give and take there. Willpower, not the strongest. In the comics, you can make maybe a firmer argument for it, because as Venom, he just likes being Venom. So I still don't feel confident with green. I think there are 3 better options, but green I think could be your runner up, if you will. So with that being said, though, going into it now, I think fear is an obvious choice. In both the movies and in the comics, Venom is someone people are scared of. Particularly Spider-Man is afraid of him. Like, because this guy is stronger than him. He's legitimately stronger than him. That's how the symbiote worked. He definitely could be a Yellow Lantern just by everything he's done. I mean, you look at what he's done in the movies alone, and people are scared of it. Like, don't get me wrong, the people who know Venom know that he's actually not really that bad of an individual, but he still is a giant man-eating goo monster. And if you're not scared of that on some level, then there is something wrong with you. Same can be true in the comics as well, that, Venom is still an opponent that people are scared, or that are scared of. Normal people definitely be scared. There are even heroes that are afraid of him. So I think that is a reasonable one to go with. Red, I think, really only applies to a certain span in the comics, because Eddie and Venom, and by association Venom, hated Spider-Man. Hated him. And I think Red at that time would have been a good option. Venom has tempered that since then, and has definitely taken on more of the anti-hero role in later iterations of the character. But you can still make a argument that the anger is always there. So I think Red is a very possible scenario. I don't think it applies very much to the movie version, though. The movie version of Venom doesn't strike me as a Red Lantern. What the movie version does strike me as versus the comic is a Sapphire Lantern, because Eddie, even in the newest one, still loves his ex. He's still in love with his girlfriend. And, it's clear that what he's doing, I mean, he's doing it for himself, but he's also doing it because he loves her. Is it his main motivating factor? Maybe not, because he does accept the fact that she did move on. But the fact is, he loves her. And part of what he does is out of love. So I would say Sapphire is at least arguable. And he does have a son, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics. So he probably does a bit of what he does out of love for his son as well. I would say, though, if we're looking at the overarching Lantern Corps, I think it's got to be the Yellow Lantern Corps. With Red being a strong possibility at certain time periods for the comic version, and Sapphire being a possibility for the movie version. So, yeah, that would be my take, though. I'd go yellow for the overlap. That's my opinion, though. What do you think Venom's Lantern Corps is? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. They'll review it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. What am I doing? Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Put your comments down below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you folks tomorrow for What If. Later.